You know that thing that they say that you've been saved, either by God or by a hair's breadth, is actually the conversation we're having today on Face to Face, where there was an issue and there was a case against you in the courts of law. And then you have been going to court, and then one day they say to you that there's no case, go home, you're a free man. That is a conversation we're having today with someone who has suffered that for the past, 8 years. My name is Umaru, Sanda, Amadu, and this is Face to Face on ChannelOne TV. When we come back, my guest, a big CEO in this country, who has been standing trial alongside other parties, and the state has since withdrawn the charge against them, which is part of a number of cases that the Dominica Yine-led Attorney General's Department has been withdrawing. I'll be understanding through his mind what exactly he was alleged to have done and how he has handled that the past 8 years, and how the trial has affected his business and his life, and what the way forward for him is. Please stay with us on Face to Face. My guest is Alhaji Seidu Agongo. Now, he is part of the people who were standing trial. In fact, he and Dr. Stephen Opuni, formerly of Cocoa Board, were standing trial after the state brought charges against them. They've been going to court for the past 8 years. It's a case that has gone up and down. A judge was challenged and all of this. You remember Justice Onyenuga, you remember fertilizer, all of these things put together. My guest is a man who was, if you like, taking the affairs of this issue, who was standing trial. Then last week, the state dropped charges against them, withdrawing the charges against them, essentially acquitting and discharging them. So I'm sitting with him today to understand what happened and what's going to happen next. Alhaji Seidu Agongo, CEO, Zeera companies, and several other companies. You're welcome to Face to Face.
Thank you so much, Umaru Sanda.
How are you doing?
Very great, very great, very great.
How is the feeling?
The feeling is good. The feeling is good. And I've always known that it will be good.
In fact, before we talk about the beginning, let's talk about the end. When the judge said, Alhaji, you are free, go home, you're a free man, how did you feel?
I was happy, but I was waiting for that day, because I knew very well that whatever I did under the law was right. Yes, a product that they requested for, which I supplied, which has been used. I don't see why I should be held accountable for something that has been used already.
So there was not a single day that you finished taking your shower, you stood by the mirror and said, I may actually go to jail, I may be in Sawam. You've never thought you would ever lose this case and go to jail?
Personally, I'm somebody with very good instinct, intuition, and everything. And I have never thought of it. I sometimes tell myself that if I go to jail, it means that something greater will come in my way. So it has never occurred to me that one day you go to jail. No. Because Sanda, what is it? All that it is that I'm a businessman. I go to Cocoa Board. They award me a contract, which I supplied. I didn't just take the money and not supply. I supplied.
So for you, it's always been, it will end on a positive side for you. You've never thought that.
Definitely.
Let's talk about you. Who are you? Because why are you a big deal? Why are you a national prosecution?
Yes. What it is that there's the metrics. If I say there's the metrics, do you understand?
No.
You don't belong. Let's assume if my contract was being awarded to somebody else, I don't think you would have gone through what happened.
You are from Upper East?
Yes, Upper East.
You grew up there?
No.
Where did you grow up?
Bema Camp.
Oh, you grew up where your father was a soldier?
Yes. Uncle of the soldier.
Okay, so you're living with him?
Yes.
Where did you school?
5th Primary.
Here in Bema Camp?
Bema Camp, yes.
So you did your primary school here, your secondary school education?
So I did my primary school in 5th Primary, common trans to Adontin, to Labone State Farm, to Legon, to IPS.
I see.
Yes.
But what's your connection to the North or Upper East? Do you have family? Do you always go there? Do you have businesses there? What's your relationship?
My father has 4 wives.
Oh.
My father, elder brother has 4
Before
wives.
you continue, will you have 4 wives?
No,
oh,
one is okay.
Oh, one is okay. But you have the privilege.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes, my father has 4 wives.
Okay.
My father senior has 4. Almost 4 of my father's brothers have 4 wives. So you can multiply 4 by 4. You understand?
That's life.
And you can multiply the kids. So all these people are people that I take care of monthly. I send them money monthly because my father is deceased. The senior brother is deceased. The junior is, they are all gone. And it's left with the women alone. So I see it as an obligation that belonging to that family, I need to help them survive. Yes.
So you went to IPS. Now they call it UPSA. Since you left, they changed the name. They call it UPSA now.
Yes.
Was that did you finish UPSA before started business, or you've always been a business person?
I've always been a business person from Burma camp.
So what business were you doing?
Okay, so in Burma camp, okay, if you know the military very well, you know some of them goes to Lebanon for peacekeeping. So when they go to Lebanon, they bring things like cornmeal, fridges, TV sets, and all other things. So I buy it from them and take it to Umaru to go and sell.
Okay.
Yes, and add profit on it.
This was before you went to university?
This was before I went to university.
And after university, what was your first major business that you started?
My first major business was still in Burma camp. I was borrowing money to soldiers and adding interest on it.
Oh, you're running?
Yes.
You were running a quick loan system?
Yes, in Burma camp.
And it was thriving?
Very, very successful.
But it wasn't formal. So what was your first formal business? My
first formal business was the rice business that I initiated, yes. Rice, sugar, tin, tomatoes.
Okay. You what, import and sell?
I import and also buy some from the distributors.
And you sell?
I'll sell.
So you're running a regular market kind of thing?
Yes,
so you had a big shop or warehouse?
Big shop. You had
a
warehouse. So I have distributed all over the country, which they come to me, buy the rice and go and also sell.
Do you still do that?
No.
You don't run that business anymore?
That was the money I invested all in the bank.
But what other businesses have you or do you run?
Currently, as I'm talking to you now, if you're talking of now or before.
So let's say before your prosecution, what businesses were you running?
Okay, before my prosecution, I was having a roofing sheet company, which I was running.
Okay.
I was having a pharmaceutical company.
So you were producing roofing sheets?
Yes. I was into roofing sheet. I was into rice, sugar. Yes, rice, sugar, tin, tomatoes. I was into pharmaceuticals.
You had a huge pharmaceutical company?
Across the country. I was having one at Sharman, Alive Pharmacy.
Alive?
Okay,
Alive, okay.
Yes. I was having one at Dansuman. Another one at Abeka.
Okay.
Another one at Ashaman.
Okay.
Another one at Medina.
So roofing sheet, pharmaceutical, what other businesses?
Roofing sheet, pharmaceuticals. And I import things like sewing machines, electrical gadgets to sell. Yes, I do
take it to the market.
Yes, just take it to the market.
And the fertilizer business, that was under what?
Yeah, the fertilizer business was under agriculture.
So you have Class Media Group.
Yes.
Obviously, that's media.
Yes, that's media.
You have a television, a radio station that you run.
9 radio stations and 1 TV station.
9 radio stations, 1 TV station.
Yes.
Then there's something called More.
Yes.
What is that? What do you do?
More is into real estate. We buy land, build, sell.
Okay.
Yes.
Then you have Zeera Group.
Yeah, we have Zeera Group.
That does what?
Zeera Group, we do things like, maybe you don't know Aluku. Do you know Aluku bond?
No.
Okay. After you build, there's a cluster. You used to plaster the building. So you don't paint again.
Okay.
More does Aluku bond.
Okay.
You understand me?
So
you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I get you. So you do
plasterboard ceiling. You understand me? This lighting.
Yeah.
You do that. Yes.
That's for Zeera. What other groups do you have? Or what other companies do you have?
We have More Group. We have Zeera. We have Pax. We have Sarago. We have a lot.
So you have so many businesses.
Yes.
Which one was doing the fertilizer?
Agriculture.
Yes. When did you create that?
I created it before 2012.
Okay.
Because I've realized that whether we like it or not, about 70% of our income goes into food. And food is basic. Everybody needs food to survive. So entry into the fertilizer business give an indication that there will be sustainable business for me.
You didn't mention the bank. You also had a bank.
Yes, I had a bank. But that came later.
Heritage Bank.
Yes, it came later.
But all of this came before your prosecution.
Yes, all of this came before my prosecution.
So you had, were you the founder, owner, shareholder, director? What were you with Heritage Bank?
I'm the founder, but not the CEO,
But you're the owner.
I was the owner. I was the founder.
Okay.
I brought the capital.
Okay.
I did everything for Heritage.
So that's for Heritage
yes,
Bank.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Let's talk about the first time this case was brought against you. Were you arrested?
Yes, I was arrested, detained, and slept, I think, about 2 days with Yoko. Yes.
Where?
Yoko.
Their offices?
Yes,
they have a cell?
Yes.
Yoko has a cell?
Yes.
So did you go there to report yourself and you were placed under arrest, or you were arrested from your home?
I went there to report myself.
So you're invited?
Yes. I was told they're looking for me.
To come and answer questions?
Yes, so I went there.
Did they tell you why they were looking for you?
Yeah, they said I have sold adulterated fertilizer
to
Cocoa Board.
So they said you should come and explain yourself.
I should come and explain myself.
Then you went to the counter.
Yes, I went to the counter.
My name is Alhaji Seidu Agongo.
Yes.
You said I should come.
Yes.
I have come.
Yes.
At what time did they say, let me lock you up?
When they wanted somebody to bail me and I wasn't getting somebody, I was supposed to stay.
You couldn't raise surety?
Not surety, because they didn't ask for anything. They just wanted somebody to bail me that they would know the person's house. And it took me time to get that person.
How? A whole businessman?
It's not everybody would like to expose to your... How will you feel like, Sanda, if I invite you and I'm not accountable?
I don't have a house that...
Yes, no, not necessarily a house, but even if you have a house, I wouldn't feel fine.
If I was your friend, maybe I could do that for you.
Yes, I understand, but
business friends.
It's about my comfort. I wouldn't feel comfortable. You have known me to be a very genuine businessman, hardworking businessman.
Okay.
All of a sudden, come and take me out of the counter.
Oh.
How will I feel?
Okay.
I'll not feel good.
So it's not because they wanted to detain you, but you couldn't raise it.
Yes. And I think they also wanted to detain me to put fear and panic into me.
Was that your first time sleeping in a cell?
Yeah, that was my first time.
How was it like?
No, for me, I'm the type that I always believe that no condition is permanent. So this situation I find myself, I manage it.
So you were thrown in were there people in the cell? What kind of cell was it? Is it the one we know at the police station? I don't know how your cell looks like. It's a room.
Their cell is different. It's a room. Just
a room.
You might not see anybody there because that is not a major cell that they put people.
Were you alone?
Yes, I was alone.
Did you have a bed?
I would like us to leave that because...
No, I just wanted to know whether... I wanted to know whether you were comfortable in custody or not.
No, whatever it is, Sanda, like I said, I've been trained in such a way that I can even sleep in the desert. I can sleep in the forest. When you're a businessman, you don't determine conditions. You face every condition, clear it off and move on.
So while you were there, you were not worried about the environment you were in?
Not at all. It's temporary.
Do you remember your first day in court?
Yes, I remember my first day in court.
When you faced a judge,
yes.
That was when they read your charges.
Yes.
How did you feel hearing the charges being read?
When I heard the charges, I was a bit confused, not being a legal person. But I took it as normal because I took it that somebody wanted to detain me or to destroy me or to tarnish my image. So I just have to look up to God.
But you didn't know who, did you? Did you have any suspects in mind?
I had a hint. That the system doesn't like me.
So it was not a somebody, it was a state?
Yes.
That was what you felt?
I had a
but
hint
some
that
people in the state?
Yes, doesn't like me.
Did you take their girlfriend or something?
Oh, no.
Or you took their business?
No. Sanda, life is such that the more you even express yourself and people get to know your wisdom, your understanding of life, the concepts, they seem to just hate you for having that knowledge.
But you're not a public person who appeared on TV and radio and spoke anything about it.
No, I've met people one-on-one. When I'm looking for business from you, I'll come to you. I'll meet Sanda. I'll express my feeling for the business, my desire for the business. In doing that, you get to know, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Immediately, I become a threat. You understand me? I become a threat.
So how many charges do you remember that they slapped on you?
I think about 27 or something.
27?
Yes.
And you pled not guilty?
Not guilty
to all of them?
Yes.
Were you jointly charged or you were charged alone?
I was charged with Agricult, my company.
Okay.
And it was a surprise. Why do you charge me, a person who formed Agricult, and charge Agricult again? I don't know whether you're getting me.
I get you.
Yes, I'm the founder of Agricult.
Yes.
You've charged me.
So you're first accused, second accused?
I'm second and third. First was Dr. Puni.
And then Agricult was?
Third.
And you were first?
I'm second.
Oh, so your company, which is a legal entity,
yes,
which is yourself in another form, was also being charged?
Yes.
Did you get arrested with Dr. Puni at the same time?
Yes, it was almost the same time.
So you both appeared in court on the same day?
Yes.
What is your relationship with him? Did you have any relationship with him before you went into this business transaction?
Not at all. Dr. Puni was at Food and Drugs Board.
Yes.
And that is where I registered my pharmaceutical medicine.
Okay.
That's where I got to know Dr. Puni.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about the business you did that had the two of you. Were you put in handcuffs? Were you ever put in handcuffs? Do you remember?
I can't remember. I think so, because when they came to search my room, and they were using hammer to knock across to be sure that I haven't buried money. Yes.
Did they break your tiles? Or you didn't have tiles in your room?
No, I have tiles. No,
but they didn't break?
No, they didn't.
They were looking for money?
Yeah, they were suspecting I've buried money.
And at that time, you were in handcuffs?
Yes, but they took it off because my kids were there.
Oh, okay. Okay, so your kids were... What was the nature of the business you transacted with Cocoa Board? What was the idea? Who brought the proposal, you or Cocoa Board? Okay, so what happens is that Cocoa Board is an institution that has another subsidiary called CRIC, Cocoa Research Institute. Yes, so when you have a product, Sanda has a product and wants to do business to Cocoa Board, you take it to CRIC. CRIC will go through all the testing processes and recommend us to the efficacy. The efficacy means that is the product good for Cocoa Board? Once the product is good for Cocoa Board, they issue you with a certificate. Wait, when was the proposal for contracts? Okay, who brought the proposal for? I wanted to understand that. Were you the one who went to Cocoa Board and said, listen, I can supply you with fertilizers? Okay. Or there was a bid that there was a tender and you bid? So what happens is that I went to Cocoa Board during 24 years time. At that time, Oponi wasn't even a post. So I went to Cocoa Board during for Fiesta. I said, I've got this fertilizer which is so good for cocoa. It's from Germany. Yes, you do the formulation here. So Fofia told me that, Alaji, you can take it to CRIC. They'll do all the testing, and if the product is good, they recommend it and you come and bid. Okay. And on a yearly basis, Cocoa Board opened their bid for fertilizer. Okay. Yes. Anybody at all can bid. So you went and CRIC gave you a clean bill of health? Certificate and everything. That it was good? It was good. Then you went to Cocoa Board? I went to Cocoa Board and I bid it. Was it an open tender? Very open. Very open. And you won? Yes. No, it's not me alone. It's like, let's say the whole year they might decide that they are buying maybe 1,000 liters of liquid. So the fertilizer was in liquid form? Yes, there's granular, there's liquid. So they're buying 1,000 liters of liquid. So decide, okay, your product is a new product. We will only give you maybe 100 or 150 to test. To test the market to see whether they like it. We give Sidalco this amount. So that is how it goes. So you won your part of the bid? I won my part of the bid. Okay. And you were supposed to supply how much, in monetary terms, how much worth were you supposed to provide? I think the first contract I was supposed to supply, I can't recollect exactly. But normally, when they are giving you the first contract, the quantity is low. After it goes into the markets or it goes to the farmers and they test it and it's good, they'll increase and increase and increase, depending on the efficacy of the products. How many times did you have to be contracted to do this? I think about 3 times. So you supplied to the Cocoa Board for 3 times? Yeah, I supplied first, second, third. Yes. And they administered all of this on cocoa seedlings? They took it, they used it, not seedling, matured cocoa. They took it, they used it, and they even confirmed that the product is good. They say that there's a letter to that effect. Saying to you that, oh, everything is okay. Very good. Keep bringing us more. Keep bringing us more. And CRIC, you had CRIC certification. I have CRIC certification, everything. And so for you, you were doing genuine business with very genuine business. Very genuine business. Interesting. We'll take a break. When we come back, I'll ask you what the state then said against you, because that is how come you ended up in court. This is Face to Face on ChannelOne TV. My guest is a man who just escaped prosecution because the state decided to withdraw based on what the state thought was a reason not to continue with a case against him. He and Dr. Seidu. I'm referring to Alhaji Seidu Agongo. He's my guest here. He's the CEO of the Zeera Group. He's applied fertilizer to Cocoa Board, which landed him in court for 7 or 8 years. I'm going to ask him what the prosecution's case against him was and how he defended himself in court. You're welcome back. This is Face to Face on ChannelOne TV. My guest is Alhaji Seidu Agongo. We're talking about his trial. So the state put you before court. Yes. And they said that you had caused financial loss to the state. Yes. What was the crux of the argument against you? Okay. According to them, the fertilizer I sold was adulterated. Adulterated means that I have overmixed it or it's filled with water, which couldn't
solve the problem, the essence of buying the fertilizer. That's the liquid fertilizer.
So it didn't serve the purpose.
It couldn't serve the purpose.
So it was not fit for purpose.
Yes,
which is what you've continually been trying to. The last time, the sitting before you were told to go home, you had brought a professor to the courtroom to be cross-examined to talk about whether the efficacy of the fertilizer. So you kept insisting that it was accurate. Your basis was what?
Okay, so my basis was, the fact is that the product is from Germany. And, you know, fertilizer is just like, my fertilizer is just like Coca-Cola. They bring the main components of Coke into Ghana and try to mix it with water, because you can't import water from Germany. I don't know whether you're getting.
We have water here.
Yes. So what happens?
So you bring the raw one and mix it up here.
They concentrate and mix it here.
Okay.
So their issue was that
in mixing it, is there a standard that you had to go by?
Yes, there's a formula.
And
every kilo.
Does someone monitor?
Yes, someone monitors. They even come to supervise it because it's their brand. Tribodin is their brand.
Okay, that's them. But how about Ghana? Which state institution monitors that thing?
Cocoa Board.
Cocoa Board itself does?
Yes.
Okay, and they monitored and they said it was okay?
Yes. Before you even finish the production and you are supplying to Cocoa Board, they come to pick samples to test and be sure of the product before they pick the goods. I don't know whether you're getting
Yes, I get you.
That is when the product is ready in your warehouse, Cocoa Board comes to pick the samples of the product. Go and be sure that what they certify, that is what you've brought, before they come and pick the goods.
Now, if this is as simple as it would be, why were you standing trial then?
That is why I'm saying that you don't fit the metrics. The metrics, you don't fit it. I hope you are getting what I mean. Yes, their perspective, they use it to judge you.
Did you see anything or hear anything outside the courtroom that gave you this impression?
Oh, I've heard a lot of people telling me that an ordinary with such brains, you understand me, an ordinary with such thinking, a lot of people have said that to me.
So you think it was ethnic?
It to be part of it. It's part of it.
Even though you don't have any proof?
No, I don't have any proof, but it's part of it. Because almost most people that I meet and try to discuss business ideas with them, it's like, are you sure you're from the north? I say, yes. What's wrong? You know, almost most people that I meet and we talk, we enter into business discussion. That has always been what has been coming up.
And this for you, so outside the law that was being argued in court, for you thought that there was a hidden motive.
Yeah, there's a hidden motive, also thinking that all the wealth I have created doesn't belong to me, because I look so simple to own such wealth. The lands, you understand me? Yes, and that time I was using my Land Cruiser, which was 2012. I remember Yoko even asked me, if you're able to buy Land Cruiser, new Land Cruisers for your workers, why are you still using 2012 Land Cruiser? You understand me? Yes. I remember they brought some investigators from, I've forgotten their name, from UK. I've forgotten their name. One of them asked me that, how can I explain to him how I came by all this wealth?
And this was Yoko that brought these people?
Yeah, Yoko brought the people. I've forgotten their name.
Is this Serial Fraud Office?
No, Crow.
Okay, Crow.
Yes.
He
said, okay. And I said, can you ask Zuckerberg how he came by his wealth? And he said, that's a developed country. And I said, you can make that in a developed country, but you cannot make that in a developing country.
Okay. So you had an issue with the prosecution and the charges.
Yes.
You also had issues with the judge, or that was not you? Justice Wanyenuga?
Yes, because, you know, our governance system is structured in such a way that any president that doesn't like you can nail you. Any president, because the judge is being appointed by the president. It's the president who decides who becomes a Supreme Court judge, High Court judge. It's the president who decides who to become a Chief Justice. So they can nail you. So the best is you defend yourself and look up to God.
Did you think that judge was deliberately put there to nail you?
I think so.
Why? What did he do or say?
A judge, I wasn't well, and he says, they should go and bring me with the wheelchair to come. So I wasn't well, but I was still going to court.
You needed proof
Yes.
that you're not making excuses.
Yes, but we
That's normal.
brought something from the medical people to prove to you that I'm not okay.
There was a view that you are necessarily delaying the case.
It can't be
And
so
that was
because
why you were challenging the judge, you went to the Supreme Court and back and went and came back forever. It was like there was a deliberate attempt to stall the case.
no, Sanda, this is something that you are putting on me. In my entire life,
Yeah.
I have fought every single battle in my life, started business at the age of 14 and got into this stage. So I have to prove my case beyond reasonable doubt.
By being unnecessarily litigating?
Not litigating, but at the end of the day, you said I have supplied fertilizer, adulterated fertilizer. You never even brought one single farmer to come and testify to the fact that I have used Litovit and Litovit is not good. You never. The person who came and make a report against me, Dr. Duampuma, he was the deputy CEO in charge of agronomy and quality control. He is the one who did everything. So you realize that the entirety of the case was just for a purpose. It wasn't against the reality.
What do you say to anyone who says you were targeting the judge because you thought that he was doing the right thing and you did not want him to proceed with the right thing?
Never. I won't target the judge. To be very honest with you, I'm the type that I believe in fairness. If I've really done something wrong and I'm being prosecuted, I'll accept it. It's a lesson. After all, going to prison doesn't hinder whatever I want to become because most presidents have gone to prison, come back and be president.
But you kept going back and forth to the Supreme Court, insisting that he should be removed. You thought he was biased against
Yes,
you.
because of certain utterances he makes.
So you thought he was put there to
How
nail
do
it?
you see a judge telling first accused that he's hallucinating?
Hallucinating
Hallucinating.
in court?
Yes.
Maybe you were. Maybe your mind was not there.
No, but it's not. That can't be the case. How do you do that? How do you say that we are delaying the case unnecessarily? You can't say that before us because we have to prove our case beyond reasonable doubt. Now, I have lawyers that I pay monthly. The states, yes, it's on the payroll. You understand me? So if I delay, the cost effect is on me.
There was an issue of money laundering.
Yes.
You brought that up. The judge dismissed it.
Yes, they brought it up against
Yes.
me. Yes.
And the judge dismissed. So that was in your favor.
That was my favor.
So how can this judge be biased against you?
There wasn't any basis of money laundering. They couldn't prove to me of money laundering because
The judge could have still gone ahead to nail you if he thought that.
The issue is that I went to Dr. Puni. He gave me 25,000 Ghana cedis to deposit. Even it wasn't to deposit in his account, to give it to his relationship manager. But when I went to bank, I was so much in a hurry and I feel, okay, let me just deposit it, and I deposited it. What has that got to do with money laundering of a contract worth millions of cedis?
So you succeeded. The judge, well, one way or the other, moved out of the case. You had a new judge. Did you trust this new judge? That he'll be unfair,
yes.
unbiased?
I trusted the new judge, which I've forgotten his name, Kwesi something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's the one who ruled that the case should start all over again.
Yes.
And he was transferred to Kumasi. He was the best judge.
And then again, so you smelled an elephant in that one?
No.
In the transfer?
Yes.
You thought that there was
no merit. How can he give a ruling and within 1 week, he's been transferred to Kumasi? How would that be possible?
For what it's worth, your case has established a new principle for us where a judge's departure does not mean a case has to start what they call de novo, afresh. So it means for the first time we are seeing cases continuing even with the change of judges. I don't know what you make of that, but it was a Supreme Court pronouncement which has become law now.
Yes, and that's why I said, some of these issues have to look at critically because Ghana as a country, we are just 31 million people. We cannot survive without investors. Investors are only guaranteed with the law. I'll convince an investor to come, but the investor will look at the laws. What sort of laws protect my investment? Protect me as a business person. If such laws are not looked at, I don't think anybody will be interested in investing in Ghana. Because, when it comes to criminal cases, I think the demeanor of the witnesses is also part of the case in determining whether he's guilty or he's not guilty. The way so if the case goes to another judge, the judge has to have an entirety, because you are looking at my freedom. You are looking at me committing a crime and sentence me, which makes me become an ex-convict. So why destroy me without having full facts of the case?
So for you, you don't think that a new judge will come and take over halfway a case? Even though the Supreme Court has made that decision, you disagree? I disagree with the Supreme Court. Even though it's a new law now?
I sincerely disagree with this.
Let's talk about the chief prosecutor of the state at the time that you were being prosecuted, Godfrey Yeboah-Dame, the Attorney General.
Yes.
Was he directly involved in this case? What was your view of what he was doing? He is the man mandated by the Constitution to do what he was doing. What was your view of the work he was doing?
When it comes to our system, he's supposed to be Minister of Justice.
Yes.
And Attorney General.
Yes.
It means that you need to give fairness. But I think he was directed to nail us.
You think so?
That's what I think. I think he was directed to jail us.
By who?
By the system.
When you say system, who are the system? It sounds like there's a cabal somewhere. What cabal is that?
Yes, of course. But because once they vote a particular party into power, we have an elected president. We have cabinet ministers.
So who is the system?
It becomes a system.
Is it Nana Akufo-Addo who is the system, his cabinet, his ministry?
I can't tell, but I think there's some underhand deal, because I'm not a witness to Nana Akufo-Addo telling Godfrey Dame to jail me. So I can't say that, but I feel the system didn't favor me.
He was just doing his job as a prosecutor. No, you think that he was sent to jail you?
No, he was sent to jail us. He was sent to jail us.
How did he manifest that?
Yes. The fact is that when you enter into a courtroom and a judge that will give you fair trial, you will know.
Really?
A judge will tell you that I'm giving you 2 hours. You have to finish your case. I'm giving you 1 month. Lawyer Kujo, you are talking too much.
How are you blaming that on Godfrey Yeboah-Dame, the Attorney General?
He's communicated to the judges.
How?
You've forgotten that the Attorney General sometimes recommend judges to the President to appoint.
Yes, but is that consequential in this particular matter? When you go to court, the prosecution is on the one side, the defense on the one side.
Yes, so
and they speak to the judge directly, and the judge has disagreed with the prosecution on one case, at least the money laundering. So, why, if he had the capacity, he would have told the judge then that jail him.
Okay. So, what of this instance? We had a case at Supreme Court. Judges were paneled. They heard the case. The next sitting, the same judges were turned around and Chief Justice came to give the ruling. What do you think about it?
What was your view of that?
My view is that the system wants to jail us. I don't know whether you're getting me. Once a case is before judges, 5 panel, we've come out with our issues. We've argued our cases. For the judges to come and give ruling. The next sitting, 2 of the judges weren't there. And the ruling was now headed by the Chief Justice.
When you say they want to jail us, you're referring to you and Dr. Opuni. So you thought both of you needed to go. You were going to be jailed. That was a plan.
Yes, there's no doubt.
Do you think that if the government had continued, you would have ended up being jailed?
Exactly.
You would have gone to jail.
We would have been jailed. There's no doubt about it.
That usually is what they call persecution, political persecution.
Okay.
Are you a politician?
I'm not. I'm a businessman.
Did you have political connections?
No, I don't have any political connection except brothers, friends I know.
Are you a fundraiser or financier of the NDC?
Yes, as usual. It's not just NDC, but I support.
You support?
I support anybody at all that comes.
What's your relationship with John Mahama? There are accusations that you are fronting for him. A lot of the things you do, you are the one who is fronting for him, and that's how come you are doing the businesses you're doing.
JM is a mentor that I'm proud of. At least I have known JM for some years now. He's somebody I admire so much because, like I said, he's a mentor. I'm so proud of him. Having gone through to this extent, I think he has so much for some of us to learn. Likewise, Baumia. That is it.
But you don't have a relationship with him?
Business like relationship. I said.
Or you are doing business for him? Or
no, I don't do business for John Dramani Mama. No. It's a brother. I'm from the north. You understand me? Yes. I respect him as a brother, elder brother. I'll consult him if I'm having issues. How do I go about this? And you advise me, do it this way, do it that way. Because the fact is that as a businessman now navigating, you want to be careful with certain things, certain acts, certain mistakes. Because some mistakes might cut the entirety of your life. So people like that, they've gone through all cycle of life. Asking them questions as to how to go about, I don't think that's the problem.
So between where you come from and the political party you possibly may have leanings with, why do you think, what was the main reason you think you were being quote-unquote persecuted? Was it because of your relationship with the NDC or where you come from?
Okay, one, it's because of the level of my success, which is not much, they presume.
They still didn't like you to succeed?
Yes, they know. Because the fact is that they have the feeling that I'm very close to JDM. So once I succeed, I use that funds to support him. So why don't we block him?
If you thought that the previous government was bent on jailing you, then the same can be said, or the opposite can be said of this government, that this government wants to free you. And that's how come you were freed as soon as the government had its first Attorney General, and it was almost like his first assignment was go and free Seidu Agongo and Dr. Stephen Opuni.
Okay.
What would you say to that?
Okay, if you care to know, before we even went to court, the rules of engagement of Cocoa Board is not to take their customers to court. It's to go for arbitration. So I sue Cocoa Board for arbitration. Arbitration had no problem with the contracts. I can say here today, they have no problem. They think every aspect of the contract is genuine. As you are doing law now, one day you come across the fact that High Court cancelled arbitration, ruled against arbitration. Arbitration had no problem. They invited me, my lawyers, Cocoa Board, every aspect that was involved in, which is SKB Asante, Emil Short, and Kizito Beyo.
Those were the arbitrators?
Yes. They have no
So they ruled in your favor?
They never ruled in my favor, but they stated that they don't want to create a precedent, so I shouldn't be paid, which I understood, because if they had ruled in my favor, what happens to the case in court?
But the criminal case against you is different from the civil case at the arbitration that you went to. So if the state, despite everything, thought that you had a case to answer, that is why they sent you to the court. And I'm saying to you that if you thought that Godfred Yeboah Dami and the NPP government was out to jail you, then Dr. Ayine, the Attorney General, and the NDC government is out there to bring you out. And we have seen you come out. It means that your party has come to save you.
No. It's just that...
So political fortune is what has brought you out. If you thought political power sent you there, political power has brought you out.
Sanda, to be very honest with you, like I always put it to you, I'm a businessman that believes in fairness. You understand me? Because I believe in the fact that, fine, state has given me a contract. What I'm interested in is the profit to grow my business. If you really look at our case or listen to our case, or you read the entirety of the case, you could see that there's a plan going on somewhere that we have to be just jailed.
Okay. Did you go to this government to say, please free us?
I've tried to see most people. I've tried to meet from Paris. I've even tried to meet Godfred Dami, but they will not give you a face.
Okay. Did you go to any member of this new NDC government to say that, hey, they were prosecuting us, we thought was wrong, so please, can you drop the charges against us? Did you do that?
Not at all.
At what point were you told that the charges were going to be dropped against you, or they were going to be withdrawn?
When I went to court.
So you heard it in the courtroom?
Yes.
And it has nothing to do with your connection to the NDC?
No, never.
You're very sure of that?
Even though they were thinking, like I said, they were thinking that I belonged to the umbrella fraternity. So why allow me? You understand me? Because allowing me means that I use my money to finance the umbrella fraternity.
No, I'm talking about now. So now that you've been these charges were withdrawn against you under the umbrella government. And I'm saying that they did that because you are NDC?
I don't think so.
You think they genuinely thought that there was no case?
They look at the merit of the case.
And based on that, they concluded that?
Yes, they concluded.
Did they have any discussion with you prior?
Never. But if you look at our case, they took her to court and they were now looking for witnesses.
How many witnesses did they call in total?
I think they call about 11 or 12.
And you called how many?
I call about, I'm not even done with my witnesses. I call about 27.
And Dr. Punit?
Dr. Punit called about, I think 12 or 13. I can't remember the exact.
So the case was not anywhere close to getting.
No, it wasn't even close. And if you even come to examine the case, when they took the product to the standard authority to go and test to be sure that the product is good or not, they took it to a different lab, which they used to test cosmetics and other things. It's got nothing to do with fertilizer.
Not fertilizer.
Not fertilizer.
And that evidence was brought in court?
It was brought to court. And that was what they wanted to use. So I protested that no. And we went for the second test. The second test gave the indication that my product is a fertilizer. And even that, the prosecutor coming to court shelved that. I don't know what I get in it.
I'm getting
Talking to you today, the prosecutor left Ghana here and went to Germany, where I sourced the product. All the facts, they decided to shelve it.
State prosecutor?
Yes, Evelyn Kilston.
State attorney?
Yes, state attorney. About 3 or 4 of them left Ghana here with taxpayers' money. They went to Germany.
Did you raise this in court?
We can't raise this because they have to bring it up. They never brought it up.
This is Face to Face on ChannelOne TV. Alhaji Seidu Agongo is a free man now in this particular case, but we're just trying to walk through what may have happened. Now, over the past 8 years too, the Akufo-Addo government did a banking sector cleanup. Heritage Bank, a bank that he owns, was one of the banks that went down. I'm going to ask him whether, again, he thought that this one too, he was deliberately targeting, because the banks that were targeted or the banks that were shut down were many. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. This is Face to Face on ChannelOne TV. My name is Umaru, Sanda, Amadu. My guest is Alhaji Seidu Agongo. He's CEO of the Zeera Group and Class Media Group and a number of other media platforms. While you were going through this prosecution, which you think or believe was persecution, did the state target your businesses in any way?
Yes, Sanda, so much. You wake up one day and they write to all the banks to close your account.
That happened?
That happened.
Over
the
what?
letter is there.
What was the reason?
Because I was being investigated.
No, that's normal.
Yes. So they have to put a lien on my account. Yes.
How long did that last?
In fact, the last time I even called them was last week. I called EcoBank to find out what happens to...
The lien was still in...
Yes.
So how were you operating?
I tried to find ways and means out.
Did you have to shut down your businesses the past 8 years?
No, you don't shut your businesses down. How do you sustain yourself with a lot of cases like you're paying their fees? How do you do that? You have to find ways out.
Tell me how you survived the past 8 years.
I have to find a way of getting a similar account to the bankers so that money can be dropping. And I was still selling this very little bit that they said it's not good.
You are still selling it?
Yes.
To who? To the same cocoa board?
The same farmers buy it a lot.
But you don't go through cocoa board?
No, I don't go through cocoa board.
And it's still in the market?
It's still in the market. They can do their check.
And if you were to bring farmers to come and testify, you would get
a lot. Part of my witnesses are farmers. Majority of them are farmers. They were even ready, willing to come and testify.
And you were still running your other businesses, or
yes,
you had
I was still running my other businesses.
But how did it affect your finances, though? This trial, and also,
yes,
how did it affect you in the business environment?
Yes,
because business environment, they don't like you being a suspect.
Okay, so what happens is that I have other partners from China and other things. They all stopped doing business with me. I have credit for 90 days, 60 days, 120 days. Everybody almost stopped because I've become a political risk business person, as politically exposed within the country. Especially when this Addison man came to say not fit and proper. It worsened my situation in the business field.
So people were running away from you?
Yes, because they were scared. Some even will tell you plain that, what if they jail you? How do I get my money?
Did you have some who stood by you?
No, to be very honest.
Everybody was afraid?
Yeah, everybody was scared. Even your own people that you think you can rely on, how did you see them? It's rather unfortunate, trust me, Sanda.
Talk to me about Heritage Bank. Where's the idea from? And what happened when you were told that it's part of the banks that were shut down?
Okay, so the idea of Heritage Bank, you realize that Ghanaian businesses, you hardly see a business that outlive for the owner, the business outlive the owner. Most of the businesses, they collapse from
after the owner goes.
Yes. So I thought of it and I said, okay, let me establish a bank and get a very strong team, because I would like something that will live for 100 years. Myself, I might not live 100 years, but it should live over 100 years. So the issue wasn't to own Heritage Bank 100% forever. The issue was that once Heritage Bank start making profit, I'll get a foreign investor to come, and at least if you have me 4 foreign investors, they take 20 or something, I'll own 25%. I don't mind. So that Heritage can survive it and expand to other countries. Look at us in Ghana here. We don't have, none of our Ghanaian businesses is even operating in Nigeria. Abidjan, none. Togo, even Togo here, none. It's only Ghana here. How do we grow an economy? By just concentrating in Ghana. And Ghana's population is just like Lagos. Just 31 million people. And when it comes to business, it's the population that sells. The Western world, they've done so well by opening their market through the shipping line system, through the air system. But when you come to Ghana here, even taking goods from here to Togo, it's wahala. Yes, my father used to sell cattle that he buys from Burkina Faso. Bringing them here is not easy. So I realized that you can't concentrate in Ghana here and become a millionaire. So when I hear people say he's rich in Ghana here, I ask myself questions. You have nothing. All you have is an average system that is consoling you. You can't be rich with 31 million population when only 5 to 7% of the people can buy your products. Where are you getting the money from?
So Heritage Bank was supposed to go global.
Global.
Continental.
Yes. That was the agreement that I have with Dr. Kusiboche, Benson Nuchupi. We sat down and set this all up.
Benson Nuchupi, former GBA president.
Yes.
He was your lawyer or
No,
friend?
he was board member.
And former finance minister
Yes, Dr.
Kusiboche.
Kusiboche, yes.
They helped you set this up?
Yes, they helped me. Corporate governance system, everything was there. And there were times that I even applied for loan that they bounced me. They didn't give me back. I didn't have any problem with Heritage Bank.
When the government did the cleanup of the banking sector and your bank's name came in there, were you surprised?
Very surprised.
Why were you surprised?
Because when I had the cleanup, I went to Ken Oforiatta, and I said, okay, boss, you know.
By this time you were standing trial?
No.
Okay.
No. Oh,
you must have been standing trial.
Okay, I don't remember. So I went and said, oh, boss, me and you, we know each other very well. You know, this is a business that I wanted to go internationally. And I don't want to kill my brand. Whatever you need to do to save the brand, please kindly help me do it. Oforiatta told me that, oh, I know you're a hardworking man. I know you come to work around 4 a.m. I know you're a strong person. We will not do anything to collapse the bank. Don't worry. That's what Oforiatta told me. When I left Oforiatta's office and got to my office, I was there when Oforiatta called me and said, it's unfortunate. The bank has to be collapsed. And
so you went to him before the announcement?
I went to him before at his office. He has a secretary called Abena. Abena ushered me into his office and we spoke.
He told you your bank was safe?
He said it was safe.
But this was BOG, not Finance Ministry, that made the announcement.
Yeah, but BOG reports to Finance Ministry.
Okay.
Addison reports to the Finance Minister.
So if he told you that nothing was going to happen and then something happened, What's your suspicion?
What I realize is that Ken Oferiatta, even though he knows me, even though he comes to me, even though he smiles towards me, but I got to realize that he doesn't like me. That's what I thought. Because at the end of the day, I've helped Ken Oferiatta before. You understand me?
Okay.
Like
when you say you helped him,
like
you gave him a loan?
Not a loan, but at least like we know each other. I don't know whether you're getting me.
Yes.
We know each other. And if you know me very well, hardly does somebody come to me and request for something, I'll decline it. Because I ask myself, out of 31 million Ghanaians, it's me you've come to. Why would I decline you?
So the BOG issued a statement explaining why all the banks were collapsed. You're saying that yours was not genuine?
No, mine was not genuine.
But as we speak, that bank remains collapsed. What's your plan? Would you apply for it to be revived?
No, we work with the system to see how best they can.
Whether they can get the license back.
Yes.
What about the assets? Did they give some back to you?
No, nothing.
So you lost everything?
I lost everything.
How much capital was it that you put in there?
I used $60 million to open Heritage Bank.
So you've lost $60 million?
Yes, I used $60 million to open Heritage Bank.
What's next for you? And that's my last question before we conclude.
No, what is happening is that I'll still go through every situation that will make me work because I'm never deterred. I'll fight very hard, work very hard to ensure that whatever that I'm destined to achieve in this world, I will achieve it before I pass on. So basically, that is it. So I'm open to every opportunities, every vision, mission, everything that will make me succeed. I'm ready.
What if a government comes in the future, say the NPP government, and they say that it was a mistake for the Attorney General not to withdraw the charges? They'll find other charges that may not necessarily result in double jeopardy and then prosecute you. What would you say?
No, that's why I said, if you look at the fundamentals of my prosecution, it was wrong because no end user has complained about the fertilizer, efficacy of the fertilizer. No end user, because if you look at supplying about 1 million liters to the entirety of cocoa farmers, of course.
So you're fine?
Yes.
Will you go back to Cocoa Board and ask to...
Oh, of course, I'll go back to Cocoa Board and do business. Why wouldn't I go?
You're not scared?
No.
You have been beaten once by...
Trust me, I'll be number one person in Cocoa Board looking for a job. Why would I have to be scared of Cocoa Board?
Create, loot and share. You may stand accused of creating and looting and sharing.
No. I don't do that. Like I said, you don't know me, but I'm a genuine businessman.
Will you take up any political appointment? If Muhammad offered you any political appointment?
No.
You won't?
Why are you going there? Because the fact is that I'm a businessman. I'm focused on business, and I believe that my passion for business outweighs political positions.
Alhaji, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you too. That's
Alhaji Seidu Agongo. He is CEO of the Zeera Group, speaking to us on Face to Face. He has had his charges withdrawn against him. He's walking home as a free man. My name is Umaru Sanda, Amadu. This has been Face to Face on ChannelOne Television.